Welcome back to the CTV News. Retired ECFH employee and economist Rufina Charlery launches her first novel entitled Only by God's Grace. Details now from Valentine Dantes.
Friends, family and invited guests, including the Governor General, Her Excellency Dame Paulette Louise, all made it to the SJC Auditorium earlier this month for the official launch of the book entitled Only by God's Grace. The book was written by local author and retired credit risk analyst at ECFH Rufina Charlery. According to Lindell Archibald and others who have read it, the book can easily be summarized as an inspirational guide for daily living.
The concept of the book began a few years ago when she would write a daily message and forward it to a select few. For some reason, I think it was divine intervention. The message always hit home, and frequently it stung so badly that I was sometimes reluctant to discuss the contents with Rufina, which meant exposing my weaknesses and fears, but of course I did. For many of us gathered here today, the book represents Rufina's wisdom, inspired by the Almighty.
The book was also described as examples from the life of the author as she realizes the greatest need for God's presence in her life and others.
Like I said before, it's good spiritual direction material. She writes the book with a lot of love and a desire and passion for nature. Rufina Charlery, her whole desire and passion is that if one person, just one person, could read this book and turn their life around and turn to God, who is the author of all life, her work was not done in vain.
According to the author of Only by God's Grace, Rufina Charlery, writing an inspirational novel was the last thing on her mind when she decided to become an author.
All I can say to start off is all of this is truly only by God's grace. Every single day for the past year has been only by God's grace. Trying to put this book together was really only by God's grace. I wanted to write perhaps mystery, a love story, something. The last thing on my mind was an inspirational book. But then I have been the confidant of a lot of people. From the time I was a teenager, for some reason, people felt drawn to me and would pour out their hearts. And at the center of it all, I always found it was a lack of understanding of how much we are loved.
Only by God's Grace can be found at Nathaniel's Educational and Sports Supplies in Castries or at the Local Writers Exhibition that is ongoing at the Blue Coral Mall until February 28th.
With that, we come to the end of the CTV News. I want to say thank you so much for watching on Calabash TV and for listening to us on the Wave Radio 94.5. I am Lisa Joseph, saying goodbye.